I'm Bill Landis with the Northeast Ohio Media Group, and I'm joined by the Lake Catholic Cougars football team. To my left, we have head coach Scott O'Donnell and a couple of offensive linemen, Dylan Gardner and Corey Davis. Guys, thanks for taking some time to join me. Coach, we'll start with this being your first year as the head coach of the Cougars. What were some of the new challenges that you saw this year?
Well, I think being a head coach for the first time, there's not a lot of responsibility and planning for the first time. So those were some of the challenges. The young men responded well to it, so they've made it an easy transition in the process of being named the head coach.
Dylan, a new head coach, but one that you're used to being around. Obviously, Coach Donnell has been around the program. How did that help the transition?
I think knowing him and having him for the first 3 years helped a lot because you know a lot about him. And it's exciting to have an alumni because it gets a different perspective on how Cougar football should be played.
And Corey, what are some of the biggest differences you've noticed in this offseason with a new head coach?
I've noticed that we have a lot more conditioning. He makes us run a lot more. He really emphasizes discipline. The practices are shorter, but we get a lot more work done.
Coach, 3-7 last season. What's it going to take to turn it around this year?
Well, I talked to these guys sitting right next to me and the rest of our seniors about leading us each and every week. And right now our focus is on getting 1-0 with our schedule being the way that it is. Every week's going to be a challenge. And the only one that we know of or we're stressing right now is Strongsville. They get a heck of a football team, a lot of guys returning, so it's going to take a good effort. And really that's the only thing we're focused on right now is getting 1-0 and beating Strongsville. And then all the rest of it will take care of itself.
What would you say is the strong point of the team at this time?
I think our strength, because of guys returning, is up front on both sides of the ball. We have a lot of guys back and some guys that are going to plug into spots that they've played and are familiar with. So I would say that we're going to utilize that on a game-to-game basis, and we're going to take that as far as it can go.
Dylan, give me some teammates on the offensive side of the ball who we should be keeping an eye on this season.
Start up front, big Nick Carina at center. He's a big boy. He was a sophomore last year, but played all games, so he'll be back. He's ready to go. Marinucci, Dom. We call him Nooch, though. He plays tight end. He plays defense, too, and he was a sophomore last year. And it's exciting to see who's going to run the ball between Joe, Ricky, and Justin. It's going to be exciting this year, I think, how we run the ball.
Okay, Corey, and look at the other side, on the defensive side of the ball. Who are some of your teammates there who we should be keeping an eye on?
I definitely think we should look out for number 1, Jimmy Svalvar. He'll be returning this year. I think he'll do very well. And our linebackers, we got both returning. I think that they're going to do very well. And also Daniel Morales, number 88. He'll lock down all those receivers, and really excited for the defensive side.
All right, Coach, and if there was one area in which you'd like to see the most improvement as you go through training camp and prepare for week 1, what would it be?
Well, I think, it's hard. We have a quarterback that's that won't be very experienced because there's 3 juniors battling for that spot right now. So as we go on, taking care of the football at that position and just overall throwing the football, we need to continue to improve week in and week out, getting better at taking care of the football and throwing the football at the quarterback position.
Dylan, you kind of touched on it when I asked some individuals to watch out, but talk about the offensive line as a whole. What does that group bring to the table, and what do you expect from you guys this year?
Experience. I mean, we were young last year, but we got, I think almost everyone has varsity experience that's going to be on the line this year, and we're all aggressive. We're definitely intense. We're ready to get after it. I mean, after a disappointing season, we just want to hit some people now because it didn't go the way we wanted to, so we're ready.
Corey, what would you say is the goal for this year? Obviously, you want to improve on the record and you want to make the playoffs. So what is the immediate goal for this team?
I really want us to get to 1-0. We're really focused on the first game. I really hope that we get to playoffs. I think we have a team that's very capable of it. Our schedule is difficult, but I think that we can really pull through.
Coach, Corey touched on the schedule. North Coast League, never an easy task. Talk about the difficulties preparing week in and week out in this league.
Well, our first 5 are tough enough. Then you get into the North Coast League this year, and we were actually just talking about this on the way over. Benedictine is going to be back. They made the playoffs and made a nice run last year, and they got a heck of a team returning. Their coach did a heck of a job in his first year being the head coach. Walsh Jesuit has a nice football team returning. Padua, we always battle and have our battles with Padua, and then Akron Hoban. their new coach did a heck of a job last year. So being in those games, and then obviously, lastly, but certainly not least, would be NDCL, who that's going to be a battle. That's our rival. So that's going to be a battle no matter where it is, what the records are. It's just our rival, and that's the way it's going to be. So it's going to take a lot of work to get through that and be successful.
All right, well, we look forward to some exciting football in the NCL and certainly some exciting football from you guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and be sure to keep it tuned into cleveland.com throughout the 2014 football season.